Except it's round 6. I just realized. Oh well, I wouldn't worry about that. 5 minutes. Really? We're going to take another 5 minutes? Huh. I don't know if you're in the race time channel, but that's what he's saying now, starting in 5 minutes. He says, trying to give Tracie and Azder a chance to hype the match first. And I said, we don't need 5 minutes to hype a match. Like, no, don't make me talk for 5 minutes without having something on the screen. Okay, now he says we'll start in 30 seconds. Oh my god.
So, are we live?
No, we're not, because I can see on the... It still says Go Mode Podcast on the actual channel. I have no idea what's going on. Let me get on another computer so I can message him. I don't like doing this through Discord. Interesting route Thorneto's taking, though. Oh, someone says they can hear us, so we are live, apparently.
Okay.
But are we showing anything? No, I don't think we're showing anything.
I can see it at least.
Yeah, we can see it.
So let's see. Yeah, Thorneto is trying to get some bomb drops from the 50-50 bushes on the way to Kakariko. So he started at Sanctuary. polarbearbunny started at Link's house to check the one item there, and then went to Sanctuary, which is kind of something that I like to do. So that's something that she's picked up from me.
She's got enough money to buy bombs, so I suspect after having checked a bunch of places without bombs, she's going to go buy them now. Thorneto has his one bomb. We'll see if he chooses to use that one, or if he may use the hut where you can get farm bombs. Looks like that's where he's headed.
So there's kind of merit to wanting to go south route to make sure that you get... Oh, there is actually a 50-50 bomb in that one bush that in the line that he picked up where he got it. So he's gonna get bombs out of the bomb hut here.
So far, not a whole lot of interesting stuff. We've seen a blue boomerang, a mushroom, and a blue cane. It's like Bunny's gonna head back over to the well.
Yeah, mushroom does open up a check. So I prefer to do what Bunny was doing, which is basically try and get some bombs from Lost Woods, the poultry, and if you don't get it, then hopefully you find some in town, hopefully you find some money. But Thorneto taking the south route to Kakariko to make sure that he could get chances at the 50-50 bombs in the bushes is also good if you want to just completely prevent that and make sure you get bombs. It's about 45 seconds slower or so, but it does make sure that you get it. So because Bunny had to kind of go back and forth through Kakariko, some of that time is going to even out a little bit. But it looks like she's still going to come out of it a bit ahead.
And we still aren't seeing a whole lot. Kakariko not with a lot of good stuff for us. Just 10 arrows in the back of Blind's hut, and I think that's it. I think she's now checked everything. Thorneto hasn't quite gotten to everything yet, so he'll see the bad news. We were coming out of here with just 4 hearts, a boomerang, and a blue cane, and a mushroom check.
Oh, actually, I think Bunny's still going to want to go south and get the race game and library. So they're probably about even. So yeah, we didn't... had a bit of technical difficulties at the start, so we didn't get to properly introduce. But this is a round 6 match. These runners are both 3 and 2, and I've actually entered both of them. This is kind of interesting to see. And they're actually both they actually both have a Super Metroid background, as do I and my
as we
Tracie.
This is a very Super Metroid oriented group today.
I don't believe she got bottle. Did she get bottle?
Yeah, she got better. She did.
Okay, yeah, it was Thorneto, I think, that was struggling more with that, but I think he also did end up getting it too. They must have found the 300 somewhere throughout all of that.
I don't know if they found 300. I saw some 50s, and that would do it. Oh, it looks like she's
going
to go ahead.
A lot of 50s, because Thorneto has quite a bit of money.
And some 20s. It looks like Bunny's going to go ahead and turn in that mushroom right away, using the fake flipper to take this little shortcut.
Yeah, that's something that I've also mentioned to her, is that I like getting this out of the way, especially if you ended up like dry on items. Thorneto also peeking the island item on the way to Eastern, which is a really good thing to remember to do in case you don't get a chance to look at it another time. You know, if you know it's an item you need, once you get flippers and mirror, you can make sure that you route it in. Otherwise, you kind of have to check it blind, and that's a lot slower.
And just 300 on the mushroom, but it does get Bunny really close to Zora money, so that's a really good thing. Should she find a Moon Pearl, should she find boots, or to sequence break it, or just find flippers to just be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And Thorneto's going to do the Eastern play. I'm personally not a huge fan of doing the Eastern play first, but 2 swords in Sarasla's hut is a pretty good endorsement for that play, and isn't actually going to go into Eastern, just grabs the swords and that potion and leaves.
Oh, that's pretty crazy. The 2 swords actually, it seems like Aga might...
yeah, it could be a thing.
Like, I'm not seeing much else, so if Aga is the play, then Bunny is going to need those swords before long, and is probably going to end up going to Eastern.
Yeah, she'll get funneled into that. I actually don't like
what
Thorneto's doing, because if it is going to be Aga, you want to do this at the end. You want to do the South Shore checks. Those are quick checks with a ton of items. Even if they don't give you a way around the Aga play, they should give you something to make the Aga play safer. Should Thorneto find a lamp in here, 4 hearts, green mail, and just a master sword for an Aga play that's really rough. I mean, that's worse than vanilla. So not exactly the way I'd want to do that play. So I like what Bunny's doing the South Shore checks.
Yeah, South Shore has a lot of items, so it's good to cover that before potential Aga for sure. Thorneto's like, it's not really a good play for Thorneto right now. So if he were to find Moon Pearl here, he would probably just leave, do South Shore, and then come back later.
Mm-hmm.
But just because we haven't seen any other Dark World items show up really, it's just unlikely that someone's going to find super early Dark World access and Bunny's going to end up missing those swords. And there still could be something in Eastern, because Thorneto just kind of save and quit out of Saha's. Which I don't like that move so much, just because he went that direction pretty early and took a lot of time to physically walk there, and then is kind of leaving stuff at the dead end there. Not wanting to go to Eastern is, good. It can save time to not go there before the bow, but
yeah, and that's kind of why I would like what Bunny's doing better. The other thing I don't like about this play from Thorneto is if it is an Agaseed and he doesn't find what he needs here, he's just gonna have to come right back to the castle. It's really nice to just be able to do this into the Aga play if you have to do it. And unless he gets a lamp down here, or I guess he could sequence break the Dark Cross area, which could have a lamp if Fire Rod is available somewhere. But I wouldn't exactly call that likely. So we'll see if he decides to do that. And Bunny gonna go to the castle as well.
Oh,
and
Bunny
there's
found
a glove.
hook shot. Thorneto found a glove in here. Bunny found a hook shot. I guess that was in Mini Moldorm.
Yes.
Did not see for sure, but it was in that direction.
She got it in Mini Moldorm, and Thorneto does look like he's taking the Death Warp. So we are gonna see what's in Dark Cross. And with the newest version of A Link to the Past randomizer, we'll actually see the item. Oh, okay, maybe he's not doing Dark Cross. He ends up saving and quitting.
Yeah, I don't think he really wants to do it. Oh, he just got the glove, so he's gonna
do the
save
back
and quit
first.
and check the back of Escape first. And that could potentially give him the information that maybe Dark Cross just has a map or a key, and he doesn't need to go to it.
Or he could get a hammer or another glove, and then Aga doesn't even... well, I mean, it could still be in play, but because there's always the Moon Pearl on the Pyramid. I don't expect that to come up.
Kind of unfortunate that we don't have that. I wonder if Lamp will show up, though.
We see a map. He's got a key. So it looks like he's going to go to Dark Cross from the back.
So neither of them have been to Eastern. I think Bunny is going to end up routing that in a bit more cleanly. But that's the most likely place for something to show up right now. It could still be a Geno. It could still be. Oh, she has a nice advantage here with the hook shot.
Oh yeah.
Being able to, I say advantage. Thorneto literally has swords, so it's not really an advantage. But she is able to at least use the hook shot to make bombing the guards very easy to do.
Yeah, I like that use of the hook shot. You often see that the bomb escape is not an easy play at all. And
sorry, she has the boomerang. I just
boomerang would work too.
Shot.
Yeah,
I was not thinking of it. I usually don't think about the boomerang at all because it's not a progression item. So I just like kind of. But yeah, so. But yeah, no, stunning these is really useful. They both have the boomerang, which is why that comment was a little silly.
Either way, they've got a stun item, so for her, it makes this play a much easier play than it would be normally if you just had bombs.
So Thorneto is doing Dark Cross from the back, which I really hate doing it.
I agree.
From this, because you have to get the rat key as well. That can introduce a lot of variance, having to figure out where that rat is. And there is just more rooms you have to go through. But it is better than going back and walking to the front again.
Well, it just turns out to be, just a big 20. I suspect Bunny won't be doing this anytime soon. Without a sword, trying to do that back area is not going to be fun. Probably check the back of Escape now, and then maybe go into Eastern before.
Yeah, I think she'll just isolate it, and I think that would be perfectly fine.
Yep.
So now Thorneto's finally going to get to South Shore.
We'll get a hook shot out of this. That'll be good.
Yeah, I do feel like they're both going to leave Agena. But the most likely kind of destination is... Oh, actually, Bunny having the hookshot, she might sequence break to Death Mountain with it.
Yeah, Thorneto's going to have the hook shot in just a second, so either one of them could do that. I really like that idea. I mean, there's a lot of items you can get there. So even if you can't end up sequence breaking Aga out of that, you're still getting a lot of value in that area. Of course, you wouldn't be really sequence breaking it because you literally would have to have the lamp for Aga to be in play. And if you have the lamp, then that's not a sequence break.
Yeah, but going through Old Man's Cave with that lamp is a sequence break. I think that is what she's doing, though, since she's walking left here.
No, she's doing it already. Okay, she's going to have to use... So you can do this with the boomerang or the hook shot. It's not too bad.
Oh, wait, no, she's going to turn in the bottle for Sick Kid.
Ooh, okay.
I think maybe, like, on the way to doing this, sort of.
Maybe? This is such an out-of-the-way check at this point. I don't love this play.
I don't love it either. I wouldn't do it myself, but I can see why you do it. Like, your opponent probably isn't going to do this for a while, and it's... Oh, okay, she's just going to save and quit.
Okay, let's see what she does now. Okay, I think this is going to be the Eastern play. And for her, she probably goes into Eastern, because the only in-logic check after this would be Agena.
Oh, yeah. The hookshot just opened so many items on East Death Mountain. So many items that could be, like, your... the rest of your Dark World access, maybe, or maybe randomly you get the flute. Just stuff that makes travel, makes some of the other stuff more worthwhile. Maybe you get the bow there. Some reasons to not do it might be not having a fire source or hammer to be able to take care of Hera and like having to make 2 trips that way. But I still think in a lot of cases it's really good to do that.
Well, and the one thing that's kind of neat about that play is if you find one of hook or lamp, or sorry, one of flute or lamp, you can't find both, of course, but they put those are the things that put that area in logic to begin with. So one of them has to show up beforehand.
Flute or lamp, you mean, right?
Yeah, flute or lamp. Okay, she also didn't go to Eastern. Okay, well, she's got the sword, so the sequence break will be easy. Looks like they're both headed towards Death Mountain now.
I am pretty worried that they both left Eastern.
Yeah, Eastern or Agena has to have something.
Yeah, like when you really start running low on things that are in logic, I think it makes more sense to just kind of bite the bullet, except you're going to have to do something that sucks a little bit, and route the thing that sucks as efficiently as possible. So just continuing on to Eastern from there.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, probably the reason she didn't want to do this is not having a sword to echolocate. Or not echolocate, but like visually see.
Yeah, she would have had to do it with the hook shot or the boomerang. That's not a terrible way to do it, but it's just much easier with the sword.
Yeah, I think she personally wants the sword for this. I kind of forgot about stuff like that, like
Nice try, which may or may not be of any use. Jury's out on that. We'll see if Turtle Rock ends up.
At least we know Ice Rod's not going to decide the race.
Yeah, well, no Ice Rod hunt. That's always a plus.
So yeah, she did want to make this play, but I just think the newer kind of side of players probably less items that they feel like super confident they can do the Dark Room in. Like Hookshot has some annoying aspects to it. Boomerang, I think, would be really good, actually.
Yeah, Boomerang's not bad, really especially helps. The blue one.
Flute, I can do it with Flute.
Yeah, I can't do that.
But that takes a lot of experience. I can sort of do it with Burna, but it takes magic, and
they don't have basically any.
Not that easy. But yeah, the sword just makes everything super safe.
As we go to Paradox Cave, pretty much in sync here.
But I think maybe she was thinking she was thinking a lot about wanting to sequence break up here, and was just waiting for the sword.
Now the blue mail is a nice upgrade for if they do have to go to Aga, especially. Always nice to get that nice bit of safety.
Oh, they found the flute here.
So I'm willing to, and a moon pearl. So lamp is an Eastern. I'm calling it now. I'm calling it now.
Yeah, I think I see the hammer show up. Maybe not. I think.
Okay. Well, no, this is still a sequence break. Lamp's got to be someplace.
Oh yeah, sorry. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it could also be an Agina. Now, I know Bunny really likes to have that lamp. She I think it's her favorite item.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I know she can do dark rooms though. If she has to. I don't know about Thorneto. Are they both going to go to Hera? It looks like Hera's a pendant. Okay, Bunny's going to go to Hera. Thorneto decides, nope, I'm going to go to Spiral Cave. So this is a big sequence right now. If Bunny gets something out of Hera, it's going to be very big. She could be fire locked out of it. I don't think she Hera pots, so that's not going to be a possibility. Although Hera potting in a pendant Hera doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, it's so we've got big keys, so we can go up to Moldorm. So she's probably going to do that. I think this is because we've had she's seen enough races between the ones I mentored for her and the ones I mentored for you, where this was a pretty critical play.
Yeah, Thorneto looks like he's going to go straight to the Dark World, so it's going to be a while before we see that lamp. But don't need to do Aga, so there's that.
He's going to activate Flute also.
Yep.
I was going to say it's super good that they got Flute in Paradox, because if they did end up being forced to go to Eastern after that, then they would have had a free trip there pretty much. So it kind of undoes the mistake as I see it, from not committing to finishing it, or finishing what you can from it.
Not a big fan of Bunny hookshotting to the big chest there. She's got to fall down and climb back up. Although yes, this pretty similar to just falling down from the upper floor.
Yeah, I think she prefers it this way. I haven't timed, which is better, honestly. Falling from this floor to the one below, or falling from above. But it's because I'm comfortable with the bomb jump, but there's a lot of reasons to not be comfortable with that bomb jump. It's very high risk. You can fall 2 floors if you miss it. Okay, Thorneto turning in his mushroom now that he's got the flute, so he's going to get 300 rupees from this. Going to end up saving time having fluted here, but I still think it was good to see what it was earlier.
Okay, let's see if there's an item here, because if there's not, the item's gonna be left in the basement, and yeah, there's an item in the basement. So the hair play ends up not being very good here. Unfortunately, not getting anything out of this.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. But there has been times where, like, you remember there was that one time where this was the mirror. It was pendant.
Yeah, oh god, yeah. Yeah, that was my race.
Yeah, and she's had a race where this was green pendant and it was Samaria, so
yep.
It can be super punishing to isolate that if it's important. The thing here is kind of, it's we're not in logic.
Yeah, without the fire.
We also have Dark World access that's like slightly out of logic, but still probably like you can pretty much deduce that lamp is somewhere easy to get. So I don't like it quite as much as I did in the races where I said to do it.
Yeah,
or where she decided to do it before. But
yeah, I think without the fire source, the possibility of isolating that item, and it did end up that she isolated that item, which makes it rough. Thorneto, what is he? Okay, so did the hobo, looks like he's gonna go over to Zora.
Yeah, so Zora is in logic. He's got the Moon Pearl now. He doesn't have flippers, but like Zora itself is in logic, so I think this is...
The other 3 items, of course, are not, but yeah, the Zora play itself is.
Yeah.
Bunny looks like he's going to activate that lamp, or activate that flute as well.
Since he's got Dark World access, though, I kind of prefer to try and hope for Mirror to route this in with Catfish, because otherwise you isolate Catfish.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't just go into the Dark World. There's a cape. I mean, it's a nice luxury item. Could be required for the bumper ledge, potentially. Most likely just an extra item, though.
Okay, so Bunny activating her flute. Oh,
a nice tempered sword, though, that he can't get. There are ways to get it, but I'm going to guess that he's not going to be doing a splash deletion. That's what he'd have to do at this point to get that right now.
Yeah, I think I'm not totally sure, but I think you could do it with bombs and ice rod. But this one is particularly difficult because you have to have all the extra ancilli on screen and active for pretty much two splashes into the water instead of 1, because you have to get in the water and then you also have to jump down. I guess actually being on water walk state makes it a bit easier, but not very much easier.
Yeah, it is definitely one of the more difficult splash deletions. And as someone that doesn't do any of them, that was a very quick map check. Pendant in
red.
pod, and I did not see the others.
I think 5 and 6 are swamp and skull.
Okay, and hopefully shout-outs to Adilor, our tracker. Hopefully gets those marked.
Okay, so she's going skull first. I like this play even without fire rod, just to kind of cover the checks here, because there could be something leading to fire rod here, and then you can just do a pretty clean line all the way down, hit these 10 on the way, and
Thorneto picking up bombs
from there.
Bombs at Agina. So I think we're down to Eastern Palace to the lamp, or something that leads to the lamp.
Yeah, so like if you deduce that lamp is there, I guess optimally like if you're really thinking you want to save time and hope for the bow to show up, you do some things that don't really, where lamp doesn't really impact it at all, and hope that you find the bow, and maybe then go. Because I think Bunny should be able to, if she's thinking about it, she'll be able to know lamp is an Eastern. But could save time potentially from delaying it a little bit.
Yeah, she's a little too low on that bomb jump, and now she doesn't have enough energy to do it. She could just take a death warp, get the energy back, and do it. The way I like to visualize that is, and of course she's not using a Link sprite, so it's a little hard to describe. But I find that if Link's ear covers that first triangle, you should be good to go. And she's just not quite far back enough.
I eyeball it using the shield. Okay, that looks good.
That looks good.
I usually eyeball it using the shield, which is a bit tough if you don't have a shield.
Yep.
But I can kind of guess where the shield is supposed to be.
Okay, it looks like there was nothing in the first part of Skullwoods, so just one more item we can check in the middle, which may not even be an item either. And this is one of the more difficult rooms in this game, with the two mummy statues and the wall master trying to grab you all at the same time.
Yeah, this room takes a lot of experience to get through without killing them, and dodging them correctly. So I think a lot of newer players benefit from killing them. I mean, I say newer players. Bunny's actually been playing this for quite a few months, and like she plays a lot offline. Thorneto has been doing a lot of the ladder races, but really just kind of got into it very, very soon before, just before this tournament started. So I'd say he's less experienced, and I've worked with him a bit less as well.
Yeah, Bunny picking up a bow there, so that's really good. So she's been keeping track of that logic. She'll be able to go to Eastern, full clear, pick up her lamp that's almost certainly there. Looks like she's going to go head towards Bumper Ledge, which she can't get. She did not pick up the cape.
Where was the cape?
It was at Waterfall Ferry.
Yeah,
Waterfall Ferry. Oh, and that's the Cane of Samaria. So she is going to have to get to that area at some point. She knows where that cane is, so as soon as she does get that, she'll be good to go. But Thorneto will probably pick it up right now. Except he's going into Village Outcast. He didn't pick up. Yeah, he didn't go to the middle, so he doesn't have a bow.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Like this is why, like, even if something sucks a little bit to do, but you avoid a big isolation by being thorough, it's good to be thorough and like route the slightly crappy thing in as efficiently as you can. So like, yeah. I almost will never, like, if I do Skullwoods early, I'll almost never leave that that big key unless I'm really feeling like I desperately need some time back.
There's a tempered sword. Yeah, I agree. If you're going to take the time to do that first part of Skullwoods, once you're done with that first part, having seen no items, you've got 3 locations for 2 items. So there's a really good chance there's an item there.
Yeah, it takes some worry off your mind, and also like it literally gives you information that there's nothing there, which, like, you can literally use the information that there's nothing there, honestly, to inform your other decisions.
Yep. Okay, and we are both going into into Thieves Town now.
Yeah, so the difference here, a shovel.
Oof.
That's honestly not too bad to get here.
We'll see if either one decides to complete 5 hearts and blue mail. Depends on if you're good at the blind fight, you know the script should be fine. A lot of the newer players are not, so we'll see if they go all the way through. I forget what was in those bottles that can help out, and they do have a blue cane for extra safety.
Yeah, there's a red potion, and the blue cane will definitely be really useful.
And we do see a Quake medallion, which may or may not be needed.
I would use Birna, like, definitely over Cape, because it literally damages blind, and it uses less magic over time.
Well, and I find the cape sometimes makes it hard to see. Well, since you can't see where you're at very well, it actually makes it a little bit harder. So,
I never thought about that.
Yeah, because I definitely use the burner there. And they are both going to the back. The blue mail does help. This is also one of the few places where having a couple of shields is really nice, because the fire shield will help you in the blind fight. We haven't seen any of those yet.
Alright, so sorry, I had to step away for a minute.
Not a problem. No, we haven't gotten to see any more items yet. Thorneto about to hit the attic, so we'll see if there's anything there.
It's really nice they have the temperate sword here to deal with these crickets. They're actually called buzzes. They do 2 hearts to green mail, 1 to blue, and they take 2 hits from Master Sword. They're pretty strong. But they're pretty low health, so if they didn't have some of this extra equipment, it'd be really, really dangerous. Oh, sorry, I was going to say the kind of difference between them, time-wise, was that Thorneto did Waterfall Fairy and stuff before entering Darkworld. Not doing Hera, but doing some extra stuff still.
Yep.
So was a bit behind on this route because of that, but then caught up by not doing the Skullwood's Big Key chest.
Yeah, so the advantage for Thorneto is that he did, since he already knows, since he has that cape, when he sees that cane sitting there on bumper ledge, he's going to be able to just get it. Bunny knows the cane is there, Thorneto does not, but she does not have that cape. The cape being in the waterfall, one of the waterfall chests.
Yeah, so for her, I'm a bit worried that flippers are going to be somewhere dumb, like in Mire, where you'd want the cane for that.
Yep.
Or something to that effect. For Thorneto, he is really going to either need to find another bow somewhere, which is possible because of the 2 progressive bows, or hopefully he gets Fire Rod to draw him back to Skullwoods. So they're both entering blind at the same time, so this is actually really cool to see. And they both get phase 1 perfectly.
And phase 2 is where things start to go wrong, typically.
Yeah.
Thorneto pulling out the cape, Bunny without the cape pulls out the cane.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe Thorneto doesn't know about Birna.
Yeah, he barely makes it through with that cape. He just ran out of magic when he got that last hit in. Whereas Bunny was perfectly safe. Once she got to the 3rd round, she could just pull out that cane and not have a problem.
Yeah, so in matches with Thorneto before, I have told him about using the cape because that's the safety item he had there. So I think maybe he was thinking about that and just maybe hasn't encountered Cane and Birna being there already, or a situation where it was really useful. There's like there's like hundreds of different situations where different things are useful that you kind of need to be in those situations at some point to call upon that knowledge.
Okay, let's see if the dig spot gives us anything. Buddy getting a whole bunch of big 20s out of it.
crazy how synced they are, though. And Bunny does have the pendant from Hera as well, which so she's isolated something there, but we don't know yet that it's anything important, so we can hope that it's just not. And honestly, like going to Hera with the equipment she had, I think part of the play was hoping that you get locked out right away. Not having a fire source, so it would make the dip faster. That's something that I think about when I go to Pendant Hera sometimes. It's like I'm not completely disagreeing with it or saying it was bad, but the amount that some of these plays are good like really varies, like kind of on a sliding scale depending on so many different factors.
Okay, we're gonna get our first look at Hype Cave. A little surprised that neither one of them did this first. I know that's a play you really like, and it's a play I've come to like. Just do Hype Cave right away before going into Village of Outcasts. You have the hammer and gloves.
I didn't think about it at all. I don't know if maybe they didn't think about it for some reason, but I have definitely told both of them that that's what I personally like doing.
This time, Hype Cave, not a whole lot in it. Small shield, about all we're getting out of that. I'm hoping Bunny will now go to Eastern.
Yeah, I think so. I can't think of really compelling reasons not to.
I mean, it's a crystals that she can full clear right now. And
my big question is where Thorneto is going to go, because he doesn't have that bow to draw him there.
Oh, looks like Bunny's gonna, maybe she's gonna do the fake flipper stuff now.
Oh, this is really interesting. I would not have thought of I would not have thought to I would not necessarily think anyone would do this at this point.
Yeah, it's kind of an odd time to do it, but you know, at least she's gonna get that cape. Oh, Bunny.
Oh,
swimming being trolly.
Yeah, like
just don't get hit. Don't get hit.
If you lose momentum, that's not too big of a time loss.
Not terrible. Let's see if she decides to go back to that. But go ahead.
If you lose momentum as you're like going into the whirlpool, or if you like overshoot it and you're trying to go back the other way, that can really easily make you just go right back into it once you're on the other side. I've had that happen so many times.
Yeah, I've had it happen too. Swimming is annoying in this game. Let's just say.
I'm really curious, like why she's doing this now, though. I was going to comment earlier, actually, about her not having cape yet. Kind of if like once you get Dark World access, I think this play is a lot less commonly done. You can a lot less commonly expect players to think of a fake flipper to Zora as something that they should do.
Things that I kind of keep in the back of my mind in that situation, just because the Zora play is in logic and the rest isn't. She's having a little bit of trouble setting this up.
Yeah, so she's bombing herself to the edge of the screen, which is, I'm not really sure why she's having trouble with.
Yeah, it should work. Once the bomb should put you right at the edge, so that when you jump in, you shouldn't have trouble doing it.
I'm not sure why it's not working. Like, but yeah, it puts you exactly at the transition.
Thorneto went and got his cane.
She might be holding a diagonal, but that's usually when you see like what happened to her just there when you try and jump in and you splash on land. That's usually because you're holding a diagonal trying to do it, which I don't really understand. Like, you want to jump and then transition to the horizontal input.
Okay, I think we're going to get a pod play from Thorneto. It is a pendant. He can do most of it. Obviously not all in logic for him. He doesn't have the bow, so he can't do the right side with. He'll have to do a potion glitch. And oh no, he's okay. Maybe going to do a pyramid check first, or catfish.
So I'm kind of surprised that he went all the way back to Bumper Ledge for Samaria, because he basically went there and did nothing else from what I saw.
Yeah, that's all he did. Like, he hadn't checked it before. He just went. It was the first time he checked it.
Yeah. I like the... I'm kind of surprised he's going to Pyramid. Although this is probably... This is not a bad way to get to Pyramid if that's what you want to do. Maybe he's going to go Catfish after it too. I actually liked the pod play because it's a pretty big concentration of items that even if you end up having to come back later because you didn't have the bow or you didn't have the hammer, it doesn't hurt you that badly to do so with this item set. Like, just from his position, from the items that he has.
Okay. Bunny getting her life lesson from Zora. And it's going to save and quit.
So Bunny having the cape, she'll know where Samaria is.
Yeah, I hope she doesn't go for it right away. She doesn't need it right away. When she needs it, she can just go get it. And hopefully by then she'll have a mirror, so she could probably route that in with things like Graveyard Ledge.
I do hope she goes to Eastern, though. Okay, yeah, it looks like that's where she's going.
Yep, that is where she's going. Good.
I feel like she had some reason to go to Zora right now that I'm just not thinking of.
Maybe it's just weighing on her mind at that point. I mean, it is 4 checks, 3 items you can get.
Yeah, it's also something that it's like, maybe your opponent did it way earlier.
Yep.
So I think Catfish is nothing.
Yeah, Catfish was 5 rupees, I believe, so yeah.
Bunny equipping Hookshot in Eastern so that you can Hookshot the gap across to the map chest later.
Well, I often say Hookshot's my favorite item. It's such a versatile item to use. And not just for moving faster at times, but also, stunning and or killing enemies. Like, most enemies either get one shot or just get flat out killed. And we're going to see a shovel check, which is just bombs.
Yeah, I don't think Bunny did that.
No, she hasn't.
I like to try like a little bit to route in the shovel check with the mirror, but really, I don't like to try that hard.
And there's that lamp. So she's happy now. She likes that lamp.
Like with Eastern completely doable like it is for her, I definitely wouldn't go for the shovel that early. But in Thorneto's position, I think the shovel is a great thing to do right now, because he just doesn't have a super good obvious thing to do. He's going to pod again, but he's saving and quitting. I think maybe he's changing his mind. Like, maybe he just really doesn't want to do it without the lamp. But he's kind of kind of painted himself into a corner.
Yeah, I mean, there's not that much he's got left for himself. I mean, I think it's pretty much pod, Eastern, and Skull Woods. He's got to do one of those. Oh, he hasn't done the mushroom. Oh, he did the mushroom already. Oh, he's buying potions.
Okay, maybe that was probably the last minute back out.
I think did he use his red in the blind fight? He might have.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure he at least has a green. I'm pretty sure they got a red and a green. Maybe so I guess he did use this. I don't know. Honestly, don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I definitely saw a green, but I think it was in Bunny's menu. So
yeah, Bunny did the throw the bottle into the fairy fountain and got a green out of that.
That's where it was. Okay, so
I always forget to do that, personally.
So they had a red potion and they had a bee. That's what happened.
That's right.
So Thorneto did not have a potion. Okay, so this makes a lot more sense. So he bought that potion. He needed that to be able to do the potion camera unlock for the right set of pots. So now what he's doing makes a lot of sense to me. Oh, and Bunny hookshotting the hint tile, which is something that I told her in some random race that she could do, and she remembered it somehow, even though it has like no bearing on anything really. Like, that's I throw a lot of information at these guys sometimes. I try to do it based on like what's useful, or like what you could do next time, or whatever. But some of it is just random things like, oh hey, like if you like hold up on this screen before you dash, it'll make it less likely for you to hit the enemy, or something like that. And it's just like, I don't expect them to remember half of what I say, but because it's hard to like know exactly what I mean without you having done it before. But yeah, I don't know. It was just cool to see.
Okay. Meanwhile, Thorneto so far not bow locked out of pod yet.
Yeah, so he's just got a key and a key so far, I think.
Yep.
So he's going the route that like he went to the bridge chest an extra time, and he's going to he's going to the big key chest here without trying to deduce whether it's a key first. And I think this more thorough route is the right thing to do when you don't have the mat or the mirror, because retracing your steps is a lot more costly.
Looks like Bunny's gonna follow him into pod. For her, this is completely in logic, and she'll have a much easier time. I feel like there's got to be something here. We've seen just about everything else between the two runners, except for Basement of Hera, which is now in logic for Bunny since she has that lamp she didn't have when she went there earlier. But for Bunny, the other thing's missing. She hasn't checked the Pyramid Ledge or Catfish. I think she's checked everything else that Thorneto has at this point.
Okay, so Thorneto's got the potion camera unlock.
Yeah, that part isn't a huge time loss. I'm not even sure it is a time loss, to be honest. It's the dark rooms that are going to give him trouble. He doesn't have a fire rod or a lamp to do them, and the rupee basement is not too bad, but the dark maze, that one's pretty tricky.
Yeah,
and he can't complete the dungeon, so if there's something on Helmasaur, Bunny will be able to get it, because she'll full clear this, and if she's still missing an item or still hasn't found progression, she's going to have to finish it out. Thorneto won't be able to finish it out.
Mm-hmm. Unless the second bow is here.
Unless the second bow is here. We've seen that before.
Which actually, it happens quite a bit.
Yeah, it happens more often than that's actually one of the things I don't like about progressive bows. Is I think it just makes this glitch too powerful. There are a lot of things that are good about progressive bows, but not everything. And I don't like that he doesn't open that chest. I guess it doesn't really matter. I like to open that chest first, and then do the rupee basement.
I do too, but I haven't really come up with a super good reason why. I guess because it's like, if you end up ruling out Harmless Hellway, you don't need to dip down to pass it again.
Yep.
I guess that's it. I never really thought about it too much.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
I find the movement much more comfortable when you open that compass chest before going downstairs, too.
Fortunately, I wasn't able to quite see what he got there, and that's just a map. Oh, and he doesn't need to. This is going to be a small key, because he had 2 keys, and once you have 2 keys at that point, and that means Harmless Hellway has to be a key. So that's a little bit of a time loss there.
Yeah, so I tried to explain pod key logic to him. I think Bunny knows it pretty well, but for Thorneto, I think when I was explaining to him, he didn't have like I guess a lot of experience to apply it to like, it's like some of the stuff, it's easy when somebody is breaking it down for you on the spot. You can see what they're saying and you get it, but it becomes hard to apply it to a situation yourself that's slightly different, because you aren't like 100% sure how the factors affect it. But I think Bunny actually plays quite a bit more than he does, even though he does do a lot of ladder. He also like jumps into cross keys races and stuff, and is willing to take several hours to do them, even if he gets lost. So, yeah, and some of this logic applies differently there. So that may be part of
Mm-hmm.
part of why some concepts don't stick as well.
Yeah, you throw all that stuff out when you have a Key Sandy situation. Where are you going, Bunny?
This dark maze, the Kadondos do 1 heart.
Oh, I see. She's routing around instead of using a bomb to flip the switch there. So the way you could get around what she did right there is you can throw a bomb onto the switch and then walk back instead of walking around like she did.
Oh yeah, she could have done that. I think I've also actually made that mistake. Because sometimes the reason for going around is you want the bridge chest, but I have sometimes like conflated that with just needing to hit the switch.
Mm-hmm.
It is also actually it can be annoying to get that bomb throw as well, but I still think it's worth it to try it because just the walk around is so long.
Still haven't seen anything in pod.
Thorneto's taken quite a while in the dark maze.
Yeah, dark maze it's tricky. I personally still pull up a map for it, so.
Yeah, I do too. This is the only dark room that I use a map for. The other ones, like the techniques and strategies applied, I think don't really benefit that much from a map. I'm not like knocking him. It's just like just definitely having some troubles in this room, and it's definitely a room where that's kind of can be expected. But Bunny is going to save quite a bit of time here.
Yeah, and I think she's going to go to Helmosaur at this point, because I don't think we've gotten anything out of here. Oh, nope, never mind. We got a book.
Okay, yeah, so he got that like just before,
Okay.
and we didn't see it.
So that opens up 2 items. Well, it opens up 2 locations. It opens up Ether Tablet, and it opens up Desert, which may or may not actually have anything, but it looks like Bunny will head to Desert now. I think that makes the most sense. Desert Ledge has just rupees, so we're not gonna. So that book is not for those rupees. Oh, she hasn't done a Gina yet, so she's gonna do that first.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like that, from her perspective, this could be the item that you need to beat the dungeon. Like boots. That's what I mean. Actually, that's the only thing that would apply.
Yeah, she might be able to do it without the boots. We don't know if it's gonna be boots locked. Thorneto's not gonna be able to finish this unless we see a fire rod in here.
Oh yeah, because he has not gotten the lamp from
He has
Easter
not
egg,
gotten the
which he
lamp.
should be able to deduce, but
He
maybe
should.
maybe he's still like I don't know if he's not thinking about it in the same
Well,
way.
and to be fair, he still doesn't have a bow, so.
He doesn't.
So from his
maybe...
perspective, this could be a bow, which would then allow him to go to Eastern and get that lamp. And there's no dark rooms here. And we are at least logically boots locked. We may not be actually boots locked. That small key. So it might be Ether Tablet is our progression. Yeah,
okay,
we are logically boots locked, but we can finish the dungeon if we want.
So we can't check right side without sacrificing the ability to do Mentorless.
Right.
And it is a green pendant, so I'd actually be a little bit worried about doing that maybe. I'm not sure actually. This is a really tough call with it being green pendant. You basically have to choose between right side and Landmo. And I mean for him, I'm actually. Yeah, so you have to steal the key from the back to be able to do right side here without the boots, and then that locks you out of Landless.
So none of it's in logic, is the bottom line.
Yeah, except for that Ether Medallion that he just pulled out of the big chest.
Ether Medallion is absolutely in logic. But it doesn't get us anything right now. It looks like he's going to do... I think he wants to... Oh, he can't do Ether Tablet from here without a mirror. I don't think he realizes.
Oh, yeah. I think actually, like, I don't know if the Ether made him think about Ether Tablet. Oh yeah, he is trying to do. Oh, he's doing Spike Cave.
Oh, that's a play you could do. That is absolutely
I didn't
logic.
think about this.
No, I didn't either. And Bunny looks like she's going to go ahead and finish this dungeon. Don't love this. Not in logic. The book opens up other things.
She could be stealing the key. We don't know yet because you have to come back here to get the key to do either option.
That's true. Nope, she's going forward.
But like at this point, like and like none of this being in logic means that it's not logically the next step. So you could get something useful here, but it's not quite as likely. Like we don't even know if this is in the logic of Deceit at all. Like Boots could be in Ganon's tower.
Yeah, we might never. Yeah, we might never see Boots. No guarantee we're gonna have them. Thorneto finally gonna make the Eastern Palace play. He won't be able to finish it though, because of course he doesn't have that bow. Gosh, get my items all mixed up.
But like if you're here, you kind of want to do one of these things, and stealing the key is a lot of walking for potentially nothing. At least you know you're going to get an item off the green pendant.
Yeah. I think if you're going to, because it's green pendant. If you're going to do one, this is probably the one to do. She doesn't have a great weapon for this. The ice rod's not bad. The tempered sword isn't bad either. But
tempered sword is really quite good.
But ideally you want a fire rod or silver arrows.
Yeah. But really, like, if you're super worried about it, the tempered sword is like you're really not going to lose that much time.
No.
If you get your spins in, not going to have that bad of a time.
And just the compass. So there is an item on the right side.
Like basically the issue is that they are like stuck in the logic. There's very few places that they're can actually be the thing that they need to move forward.
Now, Bunny, I'd like to see Bunny turn this in right away, but I'd like to see her do a route that takes her to Ether Tablet, Basement of Hera, and then finish that up with Spike Cave. Those 3 items are all in the same area. She's not doing the green pendant right away. Looks like she's going to do the other things, though. If you're going to take the time to do that green pendant, I've learned this the hard way more than once. Just turn it in right away. In at least one race that I did, green pendant was my go item, and I did not check it right away.
Yeah,
I agree. Much later.
I agree with that, considering she's done basically all that you would want to do in that area. Or pretty much, we are pretty much down to Ether Tablet and Helmosaur, I guess. Spike Cave is nothing. There is also like a huge, feeling of reluctance to. Oh, she has Hera Basement.
Yeah,
as well.
she's got 3 items in this area.
Oh, okay.
So I think we do Ether Tab and then Hera Basement and then Spike Cave. That would be the order I would do things in.
That's actually a super good way to cover that up. So maybe like potentially thankful for this book. The seed is like it's not really being nice. Figuring out what a good play is kind of complicated. I think the logic chain itself is not that complicated, but it's just been very dry, and figuring out what the best course of action has been complicated.
And just 10 arrows at the Ether Tablet. So we're down to Hera Basement and Helmosaur. And Green Pendant.
Green Pendant's not logic, so yeah.
It's not logic.
It's not the next thing.
No, it's not the next. It could be like you said earlier, it could be a thing, but it's not the next thing.
I think you were saying earlier you hope that she didn't go for Samaria, though.
Not until either she's ready to go to Hera or Turtle Rock, or until she has Mirror to route other things in with it.
Right. Yeah. So she doesn't, despite being really kind of high and dry, she hasn't done that, which is good efficiency.
Like, the cane doesn't get you that much right now.
I feel like that's an easy trap for newer players to fall into. I don't really think she fits the moniker of newer player at the moment, but that's something that I think you'd see a lot with like newer players in the dailies or whatever. I just think more about like knowing you can have the item and wanting to have it, even though it doesn't. Quite
And
do
nothing
anything.
in Hera Basement. I think we're down to Helmasaur and and I am curious what's on that green pendant. But yeah, like you said, not in Logic.
But yeah, anyways, I was trying to say it's like a good thing to unlearn.
Yep. So the fact that she's not saving quitting says she is going to do Spike Cave.
Okay, yes, Spike Cave, the third item in here. I see.
And Thorneto's probably going to full clear Hera. So the time that Bunny lost doing Hera in the first place, she's going to gain that back now that Thorneto has routed that in before doing the rest of the Skull Woods checks.
Yeah, the double dip kind of was not great for her, but the fact that Book showed up and the fact that Ether Tablet was so incentivized here really helped her out with cleaning this up, even though it turned out to be nothing in the end. So she's probably not feeling great about it. I think neither of the players are feeling great about the positions that they're in.
On the plus side, Bunny will be able, we talked about this earlier, Bunny will be able to turn in that green pendant on her way to Pod, to going back in there. So, well, it's not that on the way, though, because they don't have the mirror. So she's going to have to walk there and then...
Yeah. Maybe that is why she was not turning in right away, because like she really does think about these things, and I guarantee that like some of the time like anyone is going to forget things, but for a lot of these things she really does think through these decisions, so she very likely decided not to.
Okay, we're gonna do green right away. Yeah, doing the green pendant first, because then you can just flute from there back to the portal. I think that's smart. This is all that's left.
It's something that you really want to, because like you've already banked investment in this, and yet it's not on Logic, so it's not going to be the next thing. It's not going to bail you out of your current situation, but it could be a really good item that you would maybe want to have for wherever you decide to go next, or it could be a piece of heart.
Yeah, well, she got a refill out of it. I mean, there are worse things to get, but no, that's not what she was hoping to get out of that for sure.
It's not a great thing to get before. Oh, where's she going?
Dark Cross.
Oh, Dark Cross, because she isolated this. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And that's the fact that she isolated this, and the fact that she didn't really do Pyramid Catfish and Thorneto did it, are also really big reasons for her to worry. And so she's going to go to all these places and find nothing.
Yeah, she might do those before getting back to Pod.
I think if it does end up being like pendant, we're pretty sure it's Helmasaur, right? I think it has.
I think that's all we have left.
Okay, so something that I have told her is, and this is like from dozens of my own mistakes in racing, is that if something like really awful is like is likely to be the progression, even if you think it's likely, it's still good to last location. Like, it's not bad to last location this, because everyone else probably is going to do it, and you can save a lot of time if you're right and you don't last location it, but you also lose a lot of time if you're wrong. So it's kind of weighing like yourself versus the meta. It's weighing, do you really need the like 1 or 2 minutes that this is going to save you from doing the other stuff, in case like is that going to help you win the race, or is it are you better off just doing what everyone else is going to do? I don't think I explained that quite.
I think I know what you're saying, but yeah. Bunny is going to do the dig spot. This play makes sense. Do this, and you can flute to wherever you decide to go next. Sees bombs, switches to flute.
But like cleaning up all this stuff, even if you got to it kind of late, you still have somewhat of a chance that you can make up some of the time later. But if you're wrong about Helmasaur, you have much worse chance. And if Helmasaur was the right play and you did it last, you're still probably safe. So it's like the safer option to leave it for last.
Yeah, and she doesn't know this, but she's got a bit of a lead here, because Thorneto still can't even do Helmasaur. Needs to go get that bow first. Still needs to finish Eastern Palace, because again does not have that bow out of Skull Woods. Did not do that middle section of Skull Woods where that bow is.
Yeah, so Thorneto is in a bad position because of that, and this is like a position that you really, this position that he's ending up in is like why you don't want to skip too many things, because with Bo being where it is, he has to go all the way back to it to Skullwoods to get it. He doesn't want to make the decision to do that, because doing so, making that decision, is basically just upfront being like, okay, yeah, if it's here, I lost, but I'm going to go to it anyway, so I'm going to further cement my loss. The really good bet for him is to hope that it was nothing. But the problem is that since it was something, that also is digging him a deeper hole.
Yeah, and actually I thought he already checked desert, so I really don't like this choice, doing the out of logic stuff before the in logic stuff. We'll see if he chooses to do the right side and steal the key instead of getting that green pendant.
There is always another bow. It's not always in an accessible place.
That's true.
It's like can be in Ganon's tower.
Yeah, that progressive bow really did change a lot of things. I remember calling a race during the fall tournament where 2 runners got their bows in completely different locations, and if it had not been for the fact that there were 2 bows, what ended up being a fairly close race would have been a blowout for whoever actually found the bow in the right place.
Sorry, were you talking about where one bow is in Turtle Rock?
Yeah, do you remember that one? Yeah, it was one of the bows was in Turtle Rock. I forget where the other one was. But...
Yeah, I tuned out for like a split second, but I remember that race. It can create some crazy situations, but a lot of times it's just like, well, there's one bow somewhere. It's the only one available at the time, so you have to go get it. Yeah. So for this situation that Thorneto is in, he's doing everything right for the situation that he's already put himself in. The thing is just like basically you want to avoid putting yourself in this situation unless it's due to like a big mistake that you made, like if you took a death and it's going to take a while to get back to the item that you went for. There's definitely an argument there for just hoping that you didn't lose time from it. But like try not to isolate something to that degree in the first place.
Yeah, and to be fair, he may not even realize that this is not an in-logic play. Key logic is one of those things that we talked about with Pod, but key logic shows up in a lot of different dungeons. It's easy to forget that this isn't in logic because you can get to the back.
Yeah, so like this desert logic isn't complicated, but it might be hard to think of it conceptually, like just...
If he's never encountered it before, it just might not be something he's thought about. Bunny heading towards Helmasaur, her last location. And Thorneto, I think, has to go back to Skullwoods. I don't know that he has anything else left.
Yeah.
He's going to turn that green pendant in first. That makes sense.
Yeah, like this literally could be the other bow for him. We know it's not, but from his position, it could be.
One other thing, I don't know when he last saved and quit, but... And this might not be something he would think about. It's something I would think about, is doing that land mow play, and if the green pendant turned out to be nothing, resetting instead of saving and quitting to go check the right side.
Oh, yeah, that's I didn't think about that, actually. Because we only still have one item from Desert, which is Ether Medallion. Yep.
But that's not what he's doing, so I guess he's got to go back to Skullwoods.
That's actually thinking pretty far ahead, and it actually like it screws you if something is on bed.
Yeah.
It's I don't. I've done that play in Cross Keys, but I don't think I've ever done it in a normal rando.
Okay, and he's headed back towards Pod. Did he miss one of the Dark Maze items?
I don't...
He might have, because he was running around in that Dark Maze and having a whole lot of trouble in there. And he does have a lamp now, so he knows that's all in logic.
Yeah, I guess so. That makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think it was 2 keys on the right side, so everything's in logic but Helmasaur without the bow. And Polar Bear Bunny into her Helma fight.
I think this has got to be Mitts. Like, it's the number one most likely thing at this point. And I think Mitts on Helmasaur happens like this. It's not super often, but it's definitely like it's almost common.
Okay, he's thinking about it. I wonder if he's forgot. Oh, it's a fire rod.
Oh, you have got to be kidding me.
Ouch. Oh, that's really bad for Thorneto. He's forgotten that. I think he's forgotten that he hasn't done that other check in Skull Woods, because he's sitting there and he's not okay. He's now decided to go someplace. So there is an item in Skull Woods, and it's in the back.
So I guess another possibility is that like he felt behind and he made that big key skip in the heat of the moment. And when you make a decision like that, like maybe if you make a decision like that that you wouldn't normally make, you don't quite remember that that's what you did. So you write it
that's
off.
the thing. Yeah, that's definitely something that can happen. So they're both going to go back to Skull Woods. Thorneto going to go back there and find his bow. Bunny's going to go. Yeah, I know. I've done that too. Like, oh yeah, no mitts, can't go that way.
So you've attributed that kind of mistake before to like knowing where mitts are, but not quite having them yet.
Yep.
But that wasn't the case for this. For this, I feel like it was like, I don't know, just like very isolated pinpoint, thinking about Skullwoods and thinking about that as the fastest way to get in. I don't know.
Bunny's gonna do wait.
Oh what? Oh yeah, she
has all three.
I actually did not even think about this.
Catch that. And it's a red boomerang. Good choice to pull ped. I mean, you have all the pendants. Why not? Still not in logic until we have boots, but you know.
I also think she feels like she needed it to be something good, because I think she really feels behind.
Thorneto gets his bow. Looks pretty upset about it. You should be saving and quitting, not firing it. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the rage slashes. That's just a waste of time. Just save and quit. Take your bow. Go do the next thing.
Yeah, I agree. I'm really not a fan of people like expecting me to do rage slashes either.
Yeah, yeah, I've gotten that too. Like, no, I don't do that. You might hear me. Yeah, you might hear me swearing, but that's about it.
But yeah, like I couldn't blame Bunny for feeling behind either. But so last locating Helmasaur, that's fine. What's kind of less fine to her is probably the double dip of Hera, which there's still circumstances that made it not that bad for her position. No, but it's definitely a point of worry.
Oh yeah, well she's got to feel behind. She has no idea that Thorneto completely missed the bow.
I mean, so this is always the thought process that I end up in when I last locate something that's reasonable to last locate. Is like, okay, it's probably fine to last locate this, but how did I play the seed up until now? Did I do everything efficiently up until now? That's what matters. It's not what you checked; it's how you checked it. That's what it ends up being in this situation. So that's probably what she's worried about.
Yeah, I mean, she was fairly efficient mostly, except for the Hera play. And unfortunately, Pendant Dungeon's really not giving us anything except that fire rod.
She might also be thinking about, like, it took her a while to fake Flipper, which I forgot about until just now, because it's not weighing on my mind, but it's probably weighing on hers.
Probably, and it would weigh on my mind if that happened to me.
It's like, it's weird, because, like, the things that, like, you don't have a full context of the race. Oh, you don't want to tempered spin that. I'm sure she knows that, though. You don't... Ooh, does she have a potion? She's got to have a red.
Yeah, she's still got that red.
Let's wait for her to finish this.
And she could also use that green potion to be able to use the cape if it came down to it. And this is The map, so it's in the other chest.
So I think
Of course
she
it's in the other
is.
chest.
I think she was really trying to hit Moth at it like have a consistent pace of hitting Moth, because I think she has heard from me talking about it that like interrupting Mothula's attack cycle tends to be good. It needs a certain amount of idle time to be able to shoot its rings, and if you hit it, it completely resets that pattern. So it just looks like she is going for a lot of hits that weren't necessarily going to damage, because it was going to knock it back into spikes, but I think that's why she was doing that.
And there are the mitts. So the mitts were not on Helmasaur, but they were behind Helmasaur. And I think this is a save and quit. Maybe she's going to go pick up that cane of Samaria. This wouldn't be a bad time to do it, because she can go do Hera right now if she wants. Well, we don't know what the medallion is, but that's where I would head to next, see if we have the medallion. Get a couple of checks in Myers Shed.
I really actually kind of think picking up Kane before entering Skull's here was the play, but it's really hard to think of, especially when you're not expecting Fire Rod to end up in your lap. I was really expecting the mitts on Helmasaur.
So what do the mitts actually get us? So of course Mire area, which we may or may not have the medallion for. We can peek Dark Death Mountain. We can peek. We can go into Turtle Rock without. Oh, we could full clear Turtle Rock. We get lots of choices now. So we are flippers and mirror. So we need everything. We need the swamp stuff. Flippers and mirror for go mode at this point.
That's actually really good, honestly, because it removes swamp from extra swamp bit from being an issue.
Now, if she had a mirror, I could see doing the fake flipper play into ice. With swamp being a crystal, I don't see the point in doing that.
I actually think it's not that bad. Oh, she needs. Okay, that's.
Yeah, I'm surprised she just didn't use the hook shot there. It's a little bit simpler.
It's slower to equip hook shot there.
It can be required to. Of course, I almost always have the hook shot equipped, so it usually doesn't take an extra menu for me to do that.
Oh, it usually doesn't. Usually, pulling that pot up works, but pulling pots up, like if you're half a tile misaligned from a pot, you cannot pick it up, which is super annoying. Actually, like even 1 pixel, like you have to be. I think you have to be within 6 pixels of the center of the pot to pick it up, which is actually like you can't be half a tile off, and you can't be half a tile minus 1 pixel off either. That doesn't work.
Yeah, I like Bunny's going to go ahead and get a couple of potions. This is probably going to be the Mire Plague. Yep.
Yeah, Mire Plague is good because it gets you the info and it gets you quick checks. I wouldn't dislike a fixed flipper into ice though. Although, I don't know. Maybe it's.
Yeah, I don't love it just because we need mirror.
Icebreaker is so good.
Icebreaker is so good, and she knows how to do it.
if it weren't for Icebreaker, I wouldn't like it. But
yeah,
we already. It's actually not as good in this situation. Now that I think about it, because we're not. What am I trying to say? We're not worried about any flippers checks being in or out.
Yeah, we've done all that. There's a gold sword they could pick up, but I don't think they will. And I guess it's Quake, because she's equipped Quake and heading over there.
Although this could be a super... Oh man, this could be a... No. I'm trying to think of a situation in which, like, fake flippering into ice and getting the mirror out of it really, really helps you get the flippers more efficiently. And I actually kind of can't think of one.
Yeah, you really hope you find the flippers first.
There are some situations where fake flippering into ice out of logic can prevent a really bad double dip, like flippers in Turtle Rock. Yep. But I don't think there's a way to avoid anything super bad here. So Like, I don't think there's anything super bad that can happen that can be circumvented by that. Because I'm thinking if you find Mirror in Ice Palace, then
You still have to find the flippers.
and the flippers are definitely not behind the mirror, so the mirror's not really going to help
Right.
you. At least you can be like, okay, well, I can skip K45, I can skip
Yep.
this, blah, 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 blah. But you weren't going to do them anyways if
Yeah.
you didn't have the mirror, so it's kind of moot.
Well,
So
and
yeah,
then,
and it's,
yeah, and that's why you want to find the flippers before the mirror, because the mirror opens up stuff. The flippers, we've done all the flippers checks already. We don't need to do any more of them. So that's not going to open anything new except Ice Palace, and Ice Palace we have to do anyway. So except Swamp Palace, but no, sorry, flippers will open up Ice Palace, but we got to do it anyway, so that's fine.
okay, so yeah, I don't think Bunny found anything in Mire so far.
Nope.
Thorneto is going to, okay, yeah, he's also going to pull the pedestal.
Did she find the big key?
Maybe, did she? I guess so.
I guess so, because she's headed back there. Yes, she did find the big key.
Okay.
That's not great for her, because I guess Thorneto probably goes to Mire next anyway after he gets his mitts out of Skullwoods. She's probably just going to go ahead and finish this dungeon and then go ahead and go ahead and jump back in. Although there's so many items in Death Mountain, 6 items, including Mimic Cave is not a thing unless we find Mirror. So 5 items in Turtle Rock plus the 4 items in Hookshot Cave and the 2 items in Super Bunny. So that's a total of 11 items in that area.
I'm surprised she's just going straight to Vidi, honestly. Like, maybe she feels behind to the point where she needs to take a big risk and cut out something her opponent's very likely not going to cut out. Because I've done that before with a situation like Mire, in a situation where I feel really desperate, but I don't know. And
well, we'll see. I mean, doing Vidi first is fine. We'll see if she chooses to also go back in or not.
I've never felt really good about doing Vidi first, but I guess it's not that much slower. Hey, it's definitely slower, but probably not by a staggering amount.
She's going to use that cape. I think that's really smart. She's got 2 blues and I think a green here, so she just spams that sword. She should be fine.
Yeah, I think I have told her to stand in the center for this and just have all the eyeballs come to you.
Yep.
What she's doing for a bit there, and now that there's fewer of them, she's targeting them more specifically.
Now she can switch to the bow and finishes off. It'll be probably less than 8 shots because you actually do damage to the big eyeball when you're doing damage to the little ones, which is really nice.
Yeah. See,
and
you can actually
she gets an item, so I don't think she goes back in.
Yeah, maybe not.
The Death Mountain's just too many things in Death Mountain.
And they've already done so much of the bad checks, though. I'm starting to think that, like, even if she isolates this, and it is, what are we still looking for?
Mirror and flippers.
Mirror and flippers. Even if it is a required item that she isolates this, I think she might still have a chance if she last locations it. Not sure. But she might have enough of a lead for that. Oh, actually, what is her lead?
It's about a Mire. Thorneto finishing up Skullwoods. He'll go back in and get his mitts.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that's not as big of a lead as I was thinking.
Yeah, he's already got his cane, so he'll be able to just go straight over to Mire if that's the choice he makes. He might choose to do the Death Mountain stuff first.
That was definitely it was a pretty big time save, though. So I think she's kind of in risk-taking mode. I think if you're taking risks like that, and you get, like, a big potential payoff from that, then you stick with that risk, and you don't skip anything else super big.
Mm-hmm.
And you try to profit as much as you can off of that one. Because it minimizes your points of risk.
Yep.
While maximizing your gain from it.
And Bunny being smart and remembering that you want to do this, go to Turtle Rock and open the portal here since we don't have Mirror. Be interesting to see if she does the Dark World checks first or if she just goes straight into Turtle Rock.
So this kind of like thinking about what risks should you take, what should you not throughout the seed, I think is why it's part of why a tournament that matches like newer players against similarly skilled players. I think that's why this is really good, and also why like closely ranked ladder matches are really good for people who aren't at top player level, because it lets you actually it lets you really see the results of the decision. It makes these decisions like you get to really find out what's correct to do against a player that's within your skill range of being able to beat. Because if you're against a top player and you're not one, you might think, oh, the only way to win is to do something super crazy, and like 99% of the time that's not going to pan out, and maybe you learn some bad habits from that if your goal is just to win. But then it's like, okay, well, I'm going to try and play out my game and just do what I would normally do, and you're just going to lose almost 100% of the time doing that unless they make a big mistake. So it's like, do you commit to the loss and try and like play your game and have fun with it and grow yourself as a player in that match, or do you try and win it? You have to decide, and sometimes the decisions that you have to make as the lesser player are not great for fostering learning. So that's why I think the closer races like this are really good.
Absolutely. And Bunny finding nothing in either Super Bunny or Hookshot Cave. She did get a couple extra container hearts, so that'll be useful. And we have not had, I mean, we're still on one row of hearts, which this late is pretty low health.
So we had Quake for both, so Ether was not
completely unnecessary.
Not to play.
Yeah, we'll see if Thorneto also decides to go straight to the back.
I don't think he will. I don't think that's a risk he would. Oh, is he doing it?
Well, he hasn't checked this item, so he's gonna check this one, and then we'll see.
Oh, okay. He okay. I see.
Okay, he's not gonna go straight to Vidi. So now we're gonna find out whether it was a mistake for Bunny to leave that, or whether it turned out to be a play in her favor. I hate to really say that, use it as a mistake. You know, people talk about risks and stuff, and I think it's hard to really quantify sometimes, because the risk is, you know, the risk here for Bunny is that she's leaving something, but the risk for Thorneto is that he's going to waste a ton of time finding this other item.
Yeah, but I just think this it's really more of a risk for Bunny. I would say accurately, it's more of the risk taking on her part. Thorneto is just playing kind of normally, kind of like I would expect. There is a norm, and there is a thing that you can more or less objectively say more people would do this, or this is like more correct, or this is like it's not always completely accurate, but going straight to Vidi from this position with 2 items remaining, especially not having done any of the MIT stuff yet, like that's very uncommon. And I think part of the play for Bunny is actually knowing that that's going to be very uncommon, but also seeing that that's one of the biggest places that she can get time back. And so just hoping that that works out in her favor, and maybe not doing anything else super risky, but that just being the one risk.
Yeah, and I completely forgot we have like the entire Smith chain still available.
Yeah, so it's a very bold
there's still
play.
lots of locations we can still have stuff at. Fortunately,
yeah.
Fortunately, this is full.
Oh no, it's it's the flippers. Wow.
Oh yeah, that's bad.
Oh, that's so unlucky for her, but
she's not going to get that for a long time.
So Thorneto is like
I think I just
Thorneto isolated the bow, and I think I
just put him back in the lead. That's unfortunate for Bunny. You know, Rando be Rando. You know, I don't blame her for skipping the location at all. But
yeah, and I don't think she has like super great reason to think she's ahead. I don't.
Oh, nice sand cart.
Yeah, it's. You have to cut corners somewhere if you want to win, and there are matches that are going to be much closer than this, and you don't know whether you're in that close situation or not. So you can only decide based on what you've done, what worked out for you so far this seed, and the mistakes that you've made so far.
Now, we still don't know where that mirror is. So, it could be in Turtle Rock, it could be in the Smith chain, and mirrorless Smith chain is just the worst.
Wherever mirror is, she's going to be able to get it. Yeah, I think that's accurate at this point. Wherever mirror is, she's going to be able to get it, whether that be fake flippering ice or whatnot, but she will be able to have it. And if it's not in... If it isn't ice, then at least that would save her from doing mirror checks, but I honestly think she is going to end up doing all the mirror checks. Maybe not Mimic Cave, but...
No, you don't go back to Mimic Cave.
Oh no, I think she actually might go back to Mimic Cave, because like, if you're still committing to Meyer not having the other item, then I think maybe you do in that instance. We'll have to see later on once all that stuff is found, but like I think even like, you still commit to the play that you've made as much as possible.
Okay, and we're gonna head down into Laser Bridge, classic place to have the item in Turtle Rock. Bunny down to 4 hearts, so she's gonna have to be careful. I think she's used all her potions at this point. She might still have a green, but she doesn't. I know she doesn't have a red or a blue. I don't think.
Yeah, Tronics can go wrong pretty easily. I think she'll probably take the safety door. I'm pretty sure she would not take it if she is in a really good position, though. Thorneto doing some combination of slashes and spins. I think the tempered spin is really powerful here. If you want to just try and get all those off with the cape instead.
Yeah, and yeah, without being able to use that cape because of the lack of magic, that hurts a lot. Okay, Bunny gonna use that cane to get through Laser Bridge.
Oh yeah, he's using cape for it, which does let you do spins. Cane of Burners is not.
Bunny's just gonna go for this last one because she does have that safety door. So. And there's the mirror.
Oh boy. Oh, this super sucks. This is like the worst place for her to... Oh,
yeah, because now she can't... Well, she can't go back to Mimic Cave because she already took the safety door.
She's going to want to, and this is going to be a decision she has to make.
Don't do it.
Oh, this is literally the worst possible place for her to find the mirror. That's so garbage.
Yeah, I would not go back in for Mimic Cave. That would be... I don't... We'll see what she chooses to do. For me, it'd be like, okay, it would be Smith Chain, and then, you know, all the mirror checks, and then Meyer, and then finally go to Mimic Cave as the very last thing.
I don't know, because, like, if you...
I'm not playing. She is.
Flippers
are in Meyer, and Bunny left Meyer. Just did Vidi, got one item on Vidi. Oh, she does have a blue potion. Okay, so she's fine.
They're in Meyer Big Chest, so it was not an item that's like particularly early along the path of items that you normally check.
Unfortunately, forgetting to menu before finishing off the ice head. Or sorry, the fire head. So she gets a little bit of an ice slick there. But otherwise, handling this very well.
We don't know what's in Mimic. It doesn't matter what's in Mimic. It's completely irrelevant at this point. But
I mean, there's some nice items that they could find, but nothing required.
The big thing is that Mimic Cave is going to be on her radar for places that the flippers could be, and she knows she made a big risk or a big play by skipping the rest of Meyer, so she is not going to want to go back there for the flippers. So now finding the mirror here in such like having the really dangerous kind of Mimic Cave play on the table, that's a big investment that if she decides that that is her way to win from this position, that's going to cost her a lot of time.
Okay, she's mirroring here, so she's not going back in.
She's going to ignore it for now. I would kind of feel like it's what sucks is like if you get mirror on Laser Bridge before you have taken the safety door, then usually it's the correct decision to just mirror back to the big chest and get it out of the way then. That's the closest you're ever going to be to it. But if you've taken the safety door already, especially if like that was the last item that she chose to go for, you no longer have that option.
Yeah, that makes it really tough. Looks like we're going to see a Smith chain, which will go a lot faster that she has that mirror than it could have otherwise. Thorneto is probably going to go straight into Ice Palace. That's what I would do with those flippers.
Mimic could be boots for GTBK. I'm not particularly concerned about that though, but I guess that could also like
if
totally
if that's the thing, then you know what, they're both getting to that really, really late, and I don't worry about that. So I mean, okay, so you never know for sure until you see that big key not on the torch, but it's a 1 in 22 chance it's even there in the first place. So and Thorneto, as expected, going to go ahead and do Ice Palace.
But yeah, I think Chad is of the. I think most people are of the opinion that she'll go to Myra before she go to Mimic Cave. I think Tracie is of that opinion. I'm not really necessarily of that opinion.
I'm not. My opinion is not that she's going to do that. My opinion is that I would do that.
Oh, okay. But I think other people are saying that they think she will do that. And I honestly don't know. And the big reason that I don't know is because she learns from me, and because I don't know what I would do in that situation. It'd be really tough for me. But this is a kind of like,
the other one that's going to lose her time is she's going to go do Graveyard Ledge. Now, the good news is she'll gain a little bit of time back because Thorneto is going to full clear Ice Palace. Now, assuming that he does Icebreaker, he's not going to... a full clear of Ice Palace is not what it used to be.
Because, like, she literally the reason for skipping flippers is feeling behind, so... I don't know. Like, if you already think you're behind, and it's in Mimic Cave, then you want to get to Mimic Cave before your opponent. Anyways, I don't think anything. Should stop talking about this because I don't think there's any more.
We'll see what happens.
Any more conclusions to be reached on that?
Yeah, after she's done with this Smith chain, her choices are going to be the other item in Meyer, Mimic Cave, and Graveyard Ledge. That's going to be her options.
Yeah,
they're all pretty bad.
She's doing all these mirror checks, and it sucks too. It sucks that she's gonna lose time
without boots. Without boots, it makes it that much tougher.
Oh, really good icebreaker from Thorneto. I think that was really fast.
Yeah, and just a public service announcement to all you players: you still want to learn the Ice Palace bomb jump. It used to be the first thing you learned. It was the very first thing I learned when I first started playing this was the Ice Palace bomb jump in terms of sequence breaks and such. Just because you have Icebreaker and how great it is, you still need to learn the bomb jump because it will win or lose you races if you do or don't know how to do it, and your opponent does or don't, is the other way around. So
yeah, bomb jump you will always have available. Icebreaker you need Samaria for, so you aren't going to be able to do it all the time. And bomb jump will, even though it's not the fastest way to full clear ice, it will eventually get you everything without having to do the intended loop. And the intended loop is just so much worse than everything else.
And where are we headed next? Okay, this is going to be the Graveyard Ledge play. It's so slow without boots.
Yeah, and so much less value. I guess, yeah, so she isn't gonna have that many places to check. Like
I think after this, it's Meyer or Mimic Cave, the two crappiest checks that she's got. They're both, let's be real, they're both really crappy checks for her at this point.
So maybe she will go Mire, like with how few things left there were to do in Dark World. Because one of the things I was thinking of earlier was that, oh, nice bomb jump to get back across from Thorneto. If you just stand in the top right corner there, then you'll pretty much get it every time. I think I told him of that one. I think I taught that to him. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's not too bad a bomb jump.
It's like it's a really easy way to do it that doesn't risk falling in, instead of like trying to get on the edge of the pit. But yeah, like they already did like all of the crappy stuff before getting immense.
Well, this is interesting. I really hope this doesn't take her, because now she's got 2 checks that she can do with this.
Yeah, she's gonna lose some time just kind of out front to doing these checks.
But I don't think Thorneto's getting those boots.
Yeah, and also her being right here, she actually loses a pretty minimal amount of time to doing these checks, and she's gonna just start saving time from boots after this.
Just so long as she doesn't go into desert and get that last item.
Oh, she actually, I think that's a really good play from her position, honestly. I think she really does want to chase these boots because it's like, oh, this was a tough call to go to Graveyard Ledge without the boots. So, yeah, from her position, I think that's a really good play to try and capitalize on this advantage. It's not going to pay out, but
it might get her back to Mire earlier if she decides to go back to that area. So let's see where she flutes to now. Okay, she's going to 6. Mire or desert? They're both slow checks.
I'm sure you're gonna go desert first, for sure.
No, she's doing desert first. That's exactly what she's doing.
Oh, checkerboard also.
Oh yeah, checkerboard. Forgot about that.
So this is all really good. I wonder if, like, I think there's an argument for just going back into Mire here and trying to get that last one item. If you think that you got the other item you were searching for go mode really fast.
No, she's doing desert.
Well, obviously you do desert first from her position. You wouldn't go Mire first. It's not an indication that she's not going to do Mire after, but I'm really interested to see whether she does.
Oh no, you absolutely. I mean, there's no way you do the 2 items in this area and don't do the 3rd. I mean, she's shown already that she's good at putting the different things together. And so she's going to get this key, get the item out of the right side. Maybe it'll be something good. Like at this point, what are the items that are good? Silver arrows is obviously the obvious one.
I actually hope it's not powder. That's going to make her do another check.
Yeah, I know. Powder is... I can't see doing powder before going back into Mire when you're right here, but yeah, that could be a thing too.
Did Thorn just go into DDM the wrong way? I'm not sure what
he
means by the wrong way. But...
yeah, well, he went into... He doesn't have a mirror, so he's gonna get up to Todoroki and won't be able to open it.
Oh, okay, that's what's meant by the wrong way. Yeah, okay.
So that's gonna be a time loss. Okay, looks like it was just just some arrows on the right side. So
she's taking the mirror portal back. She's going back in. Yep. She's actually going back in. Wow, okay.
She's going back in. Well, her only other choice at this point is Mimic Cave, and I'm really glad that she isn't going there first.
Is that her only other choice? Actually,
I think
have they run out of stuff already?
I think they have.
Okay, that's...
And here's some more good news for Bunny. Thorneto is going to do these Dark World checks first. We know there's nothing here. So...
yeah, so it's unfortunate for Thorneto that he went in from like below. Like, you really need to be mindful if you don't have the mirror that if you want to go into Turtle Rock, you got to do it from the top. And there are just intricacies to...
oh, she went right to the big chest. And gets her flippers. Now we've got a race.
I think she's just pretty clearly.
I think she just took the lead because Thorneto's going to full clear Turtle Rock trying to find that mirror. Is going to get it, but not going to get it until Laser Bridge. Bunny is going to go mode Ice Palace and Swamp Palace. She doesn't need anything else.
I think this was a closer race, like before she made the decision to go back into Mire. I think it was a lot more up in the air then. I think it's less up in the air now. Oh, maybe not. Let me think.
Well, here's
She's
the
got
other
to
thing.
do Ice Palace. Thorneto's got to
She's
do.
Ice
TR.
Palace is faster than TR, and more important. And she's got boots. He's never gonna get boots. There's no way he's gonna get that mirror. And the only way he gets boots is if the torch, if the big key is on the torch, and then if that's the case, then he's just screwed.
Okay, so
he's not
she's
going
gonna
to
do
get that.
it. She's gonna. Oh yeah, so she's in Go mode. We didn't call Go mode, but that was around 146. Yeah, so I guess. Yeah, there were so many factors that made me really unsure of what was going to happen. I think the boots did a big part in pushing her back to Mire, but I can't say that for certain. I'm really curious.
Yeah, we'll have to ask her. The other thing is we both completely forgot about Checkerboard Cave, so it ended up being if she didn't have the boots, that's 2 items there as opposed to just 1 in Mimic Cave. So that may have been part of the calculation. And she does hit the switch. One of those, with Ice Palace, if you're in Go mode, you always want to hit that switch doing Icebreaker. If you're not in Go mode, the choice is, you never know for sure. I personally don't like to hit the switch unless this is Ambrosia and I've already gotten one of the items.
So
the only
she
thing
also
that
gets it very fast.
Yeah, very nicely done. The thing that punishes you is if you end up having to pick up the big key in Iced Tea. But she's not going to be checking anything. Okay, never mind. She is going to check stuff, but I'm surprised she checked that chest. That chest is not really a quick one. This next one is a very quick one, so no surprise that she'll check this one.
Yeah, just for like half magic or whatever.
Yeah, half magic. Yeah, half magic, silvers, or powder are about the only things that they could want at this point. All of which are almost certainly in GT, because we've checked almost everything else. But we know there's nothing useful in here, so her skipping it is going to be good for her.
I really thought that, especially like the mirror location that she found, was going to be super bad. And this has been a pretty crazy race with things that were skipped. So Thorneto left the bow in Skullwood's big key.
Yep, for a
the
long
first half
time.
of this race. Hey, last location did. It was required to finish Pendant Pod to get the Fire Rod from Helmasaur. Unfortunately, the Fire Rod being there. Yep. And that led to mitts in the back of Skullwoods. But being that locked the mitts, like really all the crappy checks to do, because Pendant Helma is required before mitts, yep. You get all the crappy stuff out of the way, so you have kind of less on the table for the second half. And then the second half, Bunny made a play to go straight to Viddy because she felt behind, not get the first item that was in the front of Mire, and it turned out to be the flippers, so that was really scary. And the mirror's on Laser Bridge, which Thorneto is going to get eventually, and we're super worried that, I was super worried at least, that the mirror was going to waste a lot of time for her in extra checks before she went back to the flippers.
And now just Swamp Palace for her, where Thorneto still has to finish up Turtle Rock. And Turtle Rock is a slow dungeon in general. I mean, it's not a great Go mode dungeon, so he's not losing a ton of time compared to what this would be Go mode. But he still has to do it, and it's a much longer dungeon than Ice Palace, as you can see. I mean, even without Icebreaker, it's a much longer dungeon than Ice Palace, but with the Icebreaker, it's just not even close. What is that, a Morph Ball?
Yeah, it is actually.
There's how many? There are a ton of different Samus sprites too. I know there's one where she turns into an actual Metroid.
This is the third rendition of the sprite, not counting Zero Suit Samus.
Yep.
So there's one that's like kind of chibi, has a really large head compared to the rest of the body, and then there's one that's very slim.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the one that made it to the SMZ3
Yeah.
website. And this is the third one, which is like the full body kind of. Well, they're all. This one is a lot more like proportional to the full body.
Yep.
And it actually looked like it was very hard to make this work properly. I'm impressed by
So Bunny's not checking anything, which is smart.
this particular one.
Yeah, I think when she checked that one chest in Ice Palace, I think there was a little bit of muscle memory behind that. I know I've done that before. Where it's like, wait, I'm in go mode. Why am I checking this item?
It could still be like a wanting a chance at a better item kind of thing.
Yep. Yeah. Again, there's some luxury items still out there.
I was kind of thinking, if you're going to check that, why not check like Ice Big Key Chest?
Yep.
Maybe the reason is just there's 2 pots in the way. I don't want to check it. Like I don't know. I really don't know. Or maybe it's just like, oh, I didn't think about it at the time, but if it was male, I would have wanted it.
Now I know Bunny doesn't do ice break. Diver down here, so she'll do this the long way.
Yeah, it's not really been a priority for her to learn, just because it's more of a flat time save rather than having a large impact on routing.
It's not a sequence break at all. It is a time save, but not a sequence break. So yeah, definitely a less of a priority to be put on that. I would agree with that.
Harapot is also in Harapot. I think is in
both.
I think it's in the middle camp between Icebreaker and Diver Down. I think where there are times where it flat out just saves a tiny bit of time, and then there are times when it lets you skip the big key, and it becomes super important. But in a rando, you kind of hope that if it's not your forte, then the C doesn't cater to it as much, and also
yeah, and it can screw you as well. So because it can be. Okay, yeah, Thorneto, I think he wants to take the safety door because he does not need to check the last chest. Yeah,
it's a big double-edged sword. I think the other techniques are really not so much double-edged swords.
No,
Icebreaker is just really like kind of no question you do it.
I mean, we've seen people lose races to doing an early Terrapot because they didn't get one of the items.
I've definitely lost races that way.
Okay, I don't know why Thorneto really wants this item. He's got the key and he's got the mirror. Maybe he thinks it's. I guess it could be boots from his perspective, or it could be silvers, or it could be one of those things.
Yeah, maybe silvers. This is laser bridge items. I don't try super hard to get.
No, I wouldn't. Especially now, I'll do it with the mirror shield because, like, you might as well get some use out of that thing. Bunny getting half magic from Argus, so that's a nice luxury item to pick up.
I have a feeling that like both of them are just kind of done with this seed.
Let's see if Bunny. I shall see if she decides to buy any potions before heading over to GT. Nope.
Like if I were playing this, there's a good chance I just would not be wanting to play anymore.
Yeah, I can't say I wouldn't blame anyone for that. This is about where if I'm either one of these runners, I'm looking for that dot done and ready to forfeit as soon as I see it.
Yeah. I don't always do that, but this is like maybe one of the cases.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't know. I usually don't do that, but there are times.
Okay, so that's 7 crystals for Bunny, and I think people like playing the GT Big Key guessing game. I'm going to be pretty bad at keeping track of it. It's just not really something I do much.
I will call on our wonderful tracker, Adilor, to count and let us know what number the big key is. But if people want to guess, 1 through 22. Oh, we have the bot. I didn't realize we had the bot. Of course we'd have the bot. Sinak is I don't know. I don't think he's one of the admins of this tournament, but I know he's around.
Yeah, he's not, but he has helped us like the also the race time GG
absolutely
implementation for Sahasrabot.
Yep, he does a lot for the Link to the Past community, so definitely shout outs to him. Also a fellow Iowan, so
Oh, is he?
Yep.
Okay. And so that's... Oh, Thorneto still needs to do Swamp, right? So
Yep.
Swamp is the last stop here, like, just no question about it.
Yeah, this was, I mean, unless you want to do the weird thing and leave Turtle Rock and come back to it, you're not going to be able to do Turtle Rock into GT.
Okay.
I don't think anybody is silly enough to do that kind of play.
Well, you guaranteed lose your portal for that, too.
Yep. And also going to point out that we're not going to see another sword. We know where the fourth sword is. It's sitting on Zora Ledge, so we're not seeing that. Silvers are still a possibility. Powder would be a nice thing.
I've forgotten about that sword. I almost said maybe they're hoping randomly for another sword. I'm glad I didn't actually say it.
Well, there's Bombos. Not very useful. And that piece of heart worked out really well because it gave her a nice refill. And we are not going to have a big key on the torch. We do have a small key on the torch, which does mean that when Thorneto gets there, he's going to have to be careful in the use of his keys. You're not going to get in trouble unless you use the key to open the side door there. But it is just something to keep in mind. As we head into the Stalfos room. Another container. Oh, see, there's where all hearts are. As all of a sudden we have 15 hearts. I mean, oh, and there are the silvers.
Okay, well that's nice. She's also using Ether to just get these guys kind of painlessly out of the way.
Yeah, Ether is nice for killing enemies very quick, as long as they're the items that, the enemies that do die to Ether, because some just freeze.
Yeah,
it's faster than Bombos.
It takes about 4 seconds to cast Ether and Quake, and it's 7 to cast Bombos. But for that room in particular, the anti-sword shooters make it super annoying to kill the Stalfos.
Okay, oh yeah, so
that's a really good point from DWeb, is that the seed wanted you to get the flips out of Meyer Big Chest to get the cape and Waterfall Fairy to get the cane on Bumper Ledge.
Ooh, yeah, ew. Yep, that sounds like a normal mode SMZ3 chain of logic.
And actually, this is like with early Dark World access, it's pretty rare that I decide to Fig Flipper Waterfall Fairy later in the game. It kind of depends on what items we're missing. Like if we're missing bow, maybe I'll do it. But we definitely, well, if you routed, if you didn't miss the bow, then you had it. So.
Oh, I looked straight at him. I forgot. There's some red mail for Bunny.
Okay, Thorneto doing the bomb diver down setup with the Samaria block. I say bomb because that's the one that.
Yeah, it's the one on the right side one.
Yeah, the right side one. It's a bit slower than the left side one, but the left side one only works with the Samaria block. So, for speedruns, for the speedruns that allow that trick, a lot of the vanilla runners have picked up the left side diver down because it's faster, and you have Samaria at the point where you need it. But in Rando, the bomb one, or the one that works on right side, is more versatile, even though it's a bit slower, so people just learn that one. So I think
unfortunately, we're having some issues with Bunny's stream right now.
Yeah, I'm hoping that she's just having a bit of an internet hiccup. I'm sure that's what it is. So hopefully we'll just wait it out and we'll see her back.
Meanwhile, Thorneto's going to finish up Argus here and get his half magic. We may have to wait for Thorneto to get his big key to figure out what number it is.
Oh yeah, that's gonna interfere with the guessing game. I'm not
Sorry,
super worried.
Cat.
I'm not super worried that something happened to her, honestly. This tends to happen out of players' control generally. See, if this was on SRL though, I'd be able to see if she
Well, I've got
pinged out.
I've got the oh yeah, because race time doesn't show you that.
Yeah, it doesn't show like whether people are entered or left or whatever. But
Yeah.
the
On the
SRL
other
IRC
hand,
does.
the nice thing I discovered when I lost internet during a race once is that as much as I prefer SRL, race time does have the added bonuses. You don't have to worry about reconnecting once the internet's back up. You're back on. So.
Oh, it does it by its. Okay, yeah, that makes sense because of how IRC works. Like IRC clients normally reconnect to you, but usually it's like there's a finite amount of attempts, and if you're using the web IRC, then that usually doesn't reconnect on its own. Like usually only the standalone clients are smart enough to do that. And I can also see like her Twitch thing is grayed out on the race time UI. So
oh yeah, it is. Okay.
You can actually like see really easily when they're back online with that, I think.
Did not realize that was what that meant. So cool.
Yeah, it's one of those things that is like it's that's to. I think it's a more transparent way of showing everyone in the race like whose stream is up and whether stream is up, and the site is checking it to enforce it for the start of the race, stuff like that.
Okay, so apparently, according to chat, Bunny's back in the climb. So hopefully, our esteemed restreamer, YeOldFartGamer, will get that fixed. And because it turns out you do have to, having done these restreams before, you do have to go back and go into your restream setup and reconnect it. So it's not just a matter of it just coming right back up.
Yeah, restreaming using VLC, especially like it can get messy with it going down like that. I don't know how. Oh, I know there's sometimes issues where you have to recrop it as well. Sometimes it doesn't seem to be the case this time. I think we're going smoothly, but it is.
Yeah, I know in my experience, I haven't ever had to recrop, so
it's a pretty difficult.
Yep. Oh, to answer the question in chat, Bunny found boots at King's Tomb. No, sorry, Graveyard Ledge, and then did King's Tomb right afterwards. You can't find
found boots in King's Tomb.
King's Tomb. Well, that would be what they call it, the beatable seeds. You would never know it was there. So
yeah, either that or no logic.
Yep.
Beatable only.
Yeah, Bunny, I like to make sure
I like to make sure to like specify beatable only when I mention those, because like every seed is supposed to be beatable.
Right.
I think calling it that kind of is confusing. It's not possible in OWG because OWG is overworld glitches and you need an underworld glitch to get to King's Tomb. Without the boots.
And we'll get to see where that big key was on Thorneto's side, assuming that he does not mirror out to go to the right side here.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention enough to how much time had passed to have a great idea of like where it would be.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess it was probably on the Armos or behind the Armos Knights. I mean, it could have been long enough for it. It could have been long enough to be tile room, but I think it could have been long enough to be the right side. We'll see. But all these places where Bunny's using these boots are just going to gain her more and more time. I mean, she's going to have to make a pretty big mistake for Thorneto to catch up at this point.
Yeah, although I don't feel, she definitely doesn't feel like she's in that position.
No, not at all. Like, if she felt like she were ahead, she probably goes and picks up that heart.
Oh, this room is where the boots are
the best.
One of the best to have, or really where it's the worst to not have them.
Yeah, exactly.
That room is called the Fusda Bridge, and there's an excellent clip of a Super Metroid and somewhat linked to the past runner named Fusda doing a one-hit KO run and forgetting that bridge crumbles after making it through the rest of Gauntlet.
Yeah, it's a pretty funny clip.
Oh, it's a classic.
Yeah, Bunny not even checking these other chests. At this point, there's not much she could ask for.
Oh, she
She's
threw the
got
bomb a bit
silvers.
too low.
Yep. At this point,
This room's
powder would be
kinda-
nice, but I'm gonna assume she's got at least one more blue bottle. I don't know how many she bought, but I'm pretty sure she bought more than one.
That room's kind of tricky. With the big spike trap and like throwing the bomb on the conveyor properly. Oh, I just realized actually boots are logically required because
This is the small key.
Yeah, which I don't know if you're just saying that. I might have just tuned out.
Yeah, I talked about that small key being there, that it is important to make sure. Oh, this is interesting the way Thorneto's going into not going to do the bonk.
He can't because he doesn't have boots. So
duh. Oh,
so his option.
There's a bomb jump you can do that's not bad.
Yeah, so he's equipping Ether to try and see the invisible floor. There is a torch at the top, at the north end, that you can shoot across from the very top to light it, and it reveals this floor for as long as the torch is lit. He probably doesn't know about it.
Yeah. Well, the way I used to do this room when when I played this back in the day, was I would put a Samaria block, and if the block fell down, you knew you couldn't go further.
Yeah, it's really not easy to do that though, honestly.
No, it's not. But I wasn't exactly speed running it at the time, so.
So yeah, like in a coherent saying, if you don't have boots, the best thing to do here is to bomb jump across the tiny one tile gap.
Yeah, and it's not even a bad bomb jump, to be honest.
It's so horizontal bomb jumps are kind of weird. Like they don't really knock you. They knock you a bit down, and it's not quite. You don't quite end up where you might expect to if you're not that experienced with them. Okay. So I can see someone like having tried to bomb jump across that before and it not working a lot of the time because you're just going too far down.
Sure.
And falling in the pit there, that you just get frustrated with it and think it's not worth it.
Okay, Bunny in the Ganon fight. Ooh, Thorneto having trouble with that last Armos Knight. Bunny using that cape in phase 2. I like that a lot. It just saves time. She's got plenty of She's got the half magic. I'm pretty certain she has a potion if she needs it. She's going to go for Torch Glitch here. You don't need Torch Glitch with silvers, but I know she likes to get it. Okay, so it looks like the GTB key is on the right side.
Yeah, so you can get better like setups where you interrupt his warp in the middle of the room, and they're able to slash freeze him that way if you don't do the torch glitch. But aside from that, it makes the rest of the fight easier to deal with, and usually that's just not really worth it. It's just a small length of fight once you have silvers.
Oh, she probably could have gotten a double out of that if she'd fired another silver arrow.
Yeah, she could have. The thing that makes doubles work is not hitting Ganon right against the edge. But I think that's like not quite as well known.
Yep, and there it is. Ganon is down.
GG.
GG to Bunny. Finishing up with an official time of 2:10:30. Nicely done. And we'll see if we can get her in for an interview. I'm sure I think you didn't tell me this, but I think she asked you to ask me, asked us to do it. So. Actually, I don't know whether it was your idea or her idea, but I was certainly happy to do it.
Not confirm or deny.
Yeah, she's just going to take a second to get set up. I did not see where that big key was, so I apologize to chat. I was busy watching Bunny's fight, so I assume, looks like Adilor says 18, so. And Thorneto's going to finish this out. I'm not surprised. I mean, you're in GT at this point. No reason not to finish.
There's nothing wrong with finishing if you would like to do so.
Absolutely.
It gets you practice for the end game too. I don't think there's anything wrong with not finishing either.
I agree with that too.
It also depends how much you personally value the interview, but I don't think it's like there's nothing bad about finishing here.
Do not recall if Thorneto went back for potions or not. He's down to 1.5 hearts, so this is getting a little dicey here.
Oh, does he not have another potion?
If he's going to cape instead of going to a potion, I don't think he does.
So he didn't get the fairy rim on the bridge, did he?
No. Does he know that?
Oh, he knows it, but like
Okay.
maybe didn't feel like he was low enough to warrant it.
Maybe. Okay, and with that he is going to forfeit. So.
See, I think that's also like a decent like finish if it's like convenient, and then this kind of pushes it into not being convenient to finish.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I could believe that.
Yeah, that was definitely really rough on both of them for different reasons. But we'll get them in soon. We'll be able to get them in at the same time now.
And here they are. Welcome in polarbearbunny and Thorneto. GG's to both of you. Congratulations, Bunny, on winning.
GG, Bunny.
Thank you, GG.
Okay. Bunny, I gotta ask you this question first, because we were debating it when you found that mirror.
Mm-hmm.
How much did Mimic Cave weigh on your mind?
Not at all. And I was like, and that's funny too, because that's a little bit why I was avoiding going to Turtle Rock, because I was scared that my flippers would definitely be in Mimic Cave for some reason and I would miss out. But then once I actually got the mirror, I totally forgot about Mimic Cave at that point.
that turned out to be we were arguing whether you would go to Mimic Cave or Mire first. So arguing is probably too strong a statement for that, but
I would have not found them forever if they were in Mimic Cave.
Well, because I was super worried because like you made the play to skip the flippers in Mire, so that's what made it really, really up in the air for the second half of the race. We had Thorneto, last location, the bow in Scolded's big key chest, and that was like really hard required for the fire rod to Mitt's chain. Yeah. So that happened to him in the first half, and like I'll ask Thorneto this now. Like, was that did you make that play wanting to save the time from it? Did it take you a while to realize it later, or what was going on?
Yeah, I kind of forgot about it. Like I left it thinking, whatever, it's just one thing. I'll get it when I go do the rest. But then when I was doing all that dumb other stuff, I totally forgot about it.
Yeah, there was a moment there where you paused and it looked like you were trying to figure out what location you hadn't done yet.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, wait, what? What do I have left? And then, oh, damn it. Yep.
Yeah, that put you behind.
I know. I really wanted to not double dip Eastern. I knew the lamp was there, like it had to be. So
Yep.
because I sequence broke everything else, and then yeah, I just couldn't find the bow. I left I left that spot and never came back. And yeah.
So Bunny, why did you? What was your main reason for going straight to Vidi and like making the play to skip the rest of Mire? Because it seemed like very purposeful to me.
Yeah, well, first thing, just because it was a Godmire, and I knew I had like all of Turtle Rock still, and Turtle Rock's likes to have the flippers up there.
Does.
Yeah, and the mirror actually, but
Yep.
I just knew I had all of that still, and I was feeling really bad after having cleared every single pendant dungeon. Like I was like, I have to skip something. Like I was so thorough, just like I felt like I was just last locationing everything.
Yeah, you did both pull Ped out of Logic, which was fun.
Nice.
You know, I was like, I knew at the point that I pulled it that I didn't really need to, but I was like, I have all the pendants, I might as well.
Yeah, I mean,
Get the
to
good
be
boomerang.
fair, you know, it wasn't in Logic, but, you know, if the boots were in a place that you could get to, you know, then it still could have been mirror or flippers at that point.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I wasn't really, like, getting the pendants in order to pull Ped, like, I wasn't gung-ho for Ped, but I needed something. I felt like I was floundering a lot, like with no sense of direction. This seed kind of lent itself to that kind of feeling, I think.
Well, yeah.
I was about to say that exact line, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the seed, I mean, it's actually, I don't know if you were thinking about the actual Logic, because you guys both sequence broke that cape to get the cane, but the seed wanted you to go into Mire to get your flippers, to go to get your cape, to go to get your cane, to go back into Mire. So good thing we have fake flippers. And, you know, like, Thorneto, you never got the boots. They were in on Graveyard Ledge, because you got the flippers and then the mirror. So that was a big plus for Bunny, managing to find those boots, being able to basically go mode Ice Palace. Although I was a little surprised, Bunny, there was one chest, I think it was the spike room with the big block. I don't know what they call that room, but you decided to check that chest. Was that muscle memory, or was that a conscious effort to try and find something like silvers? Or
I think both of the chests that I opened there were muscle memory. I
mean, the first one is, the first one is like doesn't take any time at all, because you just, you know, it's right after you icebreaker. It takes a few seconds, but the next one is a little bit slower. I know I've done the same thing, although usually it's Swamp Palace that gets me with the forgetting to go mode, or even worse, Turtle Rock, where I'll go check lava chests and waste that key.
Yeah, some chests are just right there. They're hard to resist, you know.
So, how much were you guys thinking of the logic in terms of like the lamp probably had to be in Eastern? Like once you got Dark World access.
Yeah, pretty much knew right away. As soon as I found all that stuff in the East Death Mountain, the lamp had to be there.
Yeah, because you found a flute, so something like to put that in Logic.
I really didn't want to double dip, so I was like really trying to find that bow, but obviously I skipped it. So
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So Bunny did West Dark World right after that as well, but found that bow, and I think even though you had the bow, Bunny, you decided to fake flipper to Zora anyways, which I thought was really. Yeah, I thought it was a really strange decision to make, given that you had a clearable Eastern in the pod. So, like, why did you decide to do that then?
Because I was kind of thinking that my lamp was on Zora, actually. Because
Yeah, from your perspective, it could have been. That's a
yeah,
good point.
um,
Because that Zora was in logic, even with the waterfall fairy chests were not.
yeah, and I figured even if not, like with 3 checks, I can find something good maybe. I was very bad at fake flippering. Don't ask me about that. We won't talk.
We
about
didn't see
that.
anything.
I have no idea what was going on there, like why it wasn't working.
Me neither.
Like the best thing to do is transition into, like, once you jump in, you want to transition into a horizontal input. If you're holding a diagonal, it can be kind of dumb. But
Yeah. I do hold a diagonal, so that's probably why.
yeah,
I'm
I
not
don't.
very good at it anyway, but jeez.
But like the way that you're doing it, like, should sort of be foolproof, and it was proving not to be in the moment. So I was kind of like,
Yeah, because you were using the bomb to push you to the edge, which usually was pretty consistent.
Yeah.
but like maybe I've probably never mentioned that the diagonal there is not as good because I just never thought about it. But yeah, so that makes a lot of sense. It's a really good call. Because like the fact that lamp could have been on Zora to you is like, it probably isn't. It's probably an Eastern, but there is the possibility, and you're just getting, like, patching up that hole, getting it out of the way.
Yeah, and at that point I was really like jonesing for a fire source, whether it be the fire rod or the lamp. So I figured one of them could definitely be on Zora, and I didn't want to leave that behind.
Yeah, you could have the very weird situation where you actually could have been a fire rod to get your lamp on Armos Knights. I think I've once found a lamp on Armos Knights with the new logic that puts that one room to get to the back in logic with the fire rod. So I guess that was a possibility too.
Yep.
No surprise that both of you skipped out on pod after. Well, in Thorneto's case, he had no choice. But no surprise that you, Bunny, also left after getting that book in pod. That book was just bait.
It was.
It really was.
It was nothing.
I still think that was correct. Like,
it's what I would have done. I mean, Helmasaur is out of the way. It's a pendant. Like, yeah.
I think it's just correct to leave Helmasaur pendant for last almost every time.
Yeah.
Just like based on the meta perspective too, because that's probably what your opponent's gonna do. I talked about this a bunch during the race, but like that also, like, you know, last locating Fire Rod and Helmasaur probably made you feel really bad, but it's also like you can think your opponent probably did that too, and so you think more about the efficiency of what you did overall through the race, not that, oh, I didn't skip anything, but how well did I get to everything? And if you feel critical about that, like if you don't feel good about that, then maybe you feel behind at that point. But it's not the fact that you last locationed it. I think that should be the concern.
Yeah. I was kind of feeling like my opponent might not have gotten the bow based on where it was. And I think a lot of people, and you kind of made me start doing this, because I didn't used to like check Skullwoods if I couldn't complete Skullwoods kind of thing. But now I always check Skullwoods first, even though I don't like it. But it's bailed me out of at least 2 races now, in a way.
Like it's not it doesn't feel great, but I think you're starting to see like why I think that.
Yeah.
Also, there was the, like, you went to Hera really early out of logic, which like has in multiple races that you and I have been involved in. I think that you or I have been involved in it. That has ended up being pretty critical, and it's a pretty bad isolation point. But it's like.
Yeah.
Were you doing that because of the experiences that we've had with it before?
Kinda. I tend to like Pendant Hera. I feel like it has stuff a lot. Obviously that's just, you know. But was in Logic, wasn't it? Was it not?
It wasn't at the time just because Mountain wasn't in Logic.
Yeah, because you didn't have. I mean, in a sense, because you could have gotten the lamp, but you didn't have it, so no, it wasn't.
Oh. Where was the flute?
On Death Mountain. In Paradox Cave.
It's all a blur. That was a long 2 hours.
Yeah, that was 2 hours ago. You're not supposed to remember something 2 hours ago.
Yeah, and I was thinking, like, after Paradox, because I got the flute, but I didn't feel like that did, like, a whole lot for me, so I thought I should peek inside Hera rather than leave something up there. Yeah, peek. Unfortunately, that was a big waste of time, and the basement, coming back for the basement was a big waste of time.
It did not turn out that bad for you, I think, because of the book actually incentivizing Ether Tablet. Like, even though that was nothing, I think that gave a really good reason to go back to it, and also a really good reason for Thorneto to end up there.
Yep, exactly.
So you could, like, be more sure of the fact that, he probably ended up doing this too.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because you both at different times full cleared Hera. Both of you did the Landmo play on Desert. That, of course, still, for Thorneto, still technically out of Logic since he never got the boots.
But I think, like, in Thorneto's position, like, having skipped the bow, I think it was really, really good for him to try and go for all the dumb stuff at that point and hope to get bailed out by either a fire rod or like another bow or whatever. And, like, you don't know it's a bow that you're missing either. But just in a case like that,
with the two bows, with the second bow available someplace, I mean, that could have been in Desert, and even with Desert being out of Logic, could have happened. Didn't.
Yeah, that was rough. Those ped seeds that aren't ped seeds.
It wasn't quite Oops All Dungeons, though, because you didn't have to go to Aga, although it was looking like it was going to be an Aga seed pretty early.
I was even, like, thinking once I got my boots, I was like, were those flippers on the lumberjack? Because they're both blue, because there's bombs, I'm pretty sure. I was like, maybe I've lost my mind. Maybe that was my flippers.
Well, GG, Bunny.
Thank you, GG, Thor.
Good luck in the brackets.
Thank you. Good luck to you as well.
Good luck to both of you.
Yeah, I'm glad I got to call this one, because I've done races for both of you, so it is interesting to see.
Well, and he's my mentor too, so it's all in the same group here.
I hope it looked like we learned something. It doesn't feel that way. Oh, sorry. I swear I muted them. Whatever. Sorry. But yeah, I'm sure Thor agrees. That race did not feel good. I don't think it felt good for either of us.
I don't. I think there were very good reasons for it to not feel good. So, like, I was saying that during the race, but also, like, it was, like, a lot of the plays, like, were really good decisions to make. Some of the like, Thorneto's early game was kind of a bit more scattered and not quite what I would have done, but like, a lot of the plays, like, that you make from what situation you're in, I think were, well informed and good, and you both played pretty well. I think there was a Vidi death though on Thor's side.
Yeah, I died.
Oh.
To be fair, you didn't have a great loadout for that, and low magic to make it hard to use the cape, so that didn't help.
Yeah, I didn't do a good job that first time. Oh well. Don't think it would have made the difference anyways.
No, but with where the flippers were and with Bunny skipping them at first, we kind of thought it might make a difference for a while, but in the end, not really.
Mhm.
What was actually
Yeah.
interesting was that it actually really thinned out the end of the race. Like there really wasn't that much stuff to do once you got mitts. So it prevented her mistake from costing her a lot, and the fact that Pendant Helma was blocking mitts really equalized things and like made you both already have done all of the crappy stuff up front, so there wasn't that much left to go wrong for the second half.
Yep, and it led her to get those boots, which it definitely I mean, it's not a huge factor, but it definitely helped.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah, it was really interesting though, and sorry it wasn't a great feeling seed to play, but yeah, no, I wouldn't feel too bad about it from either of you.
Nope, you shouldn't. You both did well. You both showed yourself doing well, so it was all good.
Well, thank you guys for
Yep,
commentating. Thank you for Restream, everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you, and I'll see everyone next time.
Alrighty. All right, so I guess that'll do it for us. I guess I could look and see what's coming up on the schedule for Restream. Let's take a quick look. The next match that I see showing a Restream is tomorrow at 6:30. Looks like John Bono versus Crimson Palace.
So that's it says 6:30 Pacific.
Oh, it's Pacific,
It's 9:30
Eastern. Yeah, I'm because it shows both of them on the schedule.
Yeah.
So 9:30 Eastern. So definitely you all should tune in for that. I don't know if it may be that other restreams get picked up. I don't know. If so, just keep an eye out. But yeah, otherwise that'll do it for us. I thank Azder for asking me to do this race with him, and of course Bunny and Thorneto for putting on a good show, and YeOldFartGamer for the restream, and Adilor for tracking. And I'll let you close us out.
All right. Yeah, it's about it. Good. It was a good race. And have a good night, everyone.